Through the new developments in the random stabbing spree that left 3 people dead yesterday in Manhattan. 51-year-old Ramon Rivera, late this afternoon, ordered held without bail. But tonight there is no shortage of questions about why he was on the streets in the first place. What with his long history of arrests and what police say is mental illness. Rivera now accused of stabbing 3 people yesterday in a 3-hour rampage with a knife. Meanwhile, we're now learning more about the victims, who they were, and the lives they led. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger live at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Josh.
Bill, the mayor says Ramon Rivera is a symptom of a revolving door justice system that has had him on the street for far too long when he should not have been. Tonight, he's not going anywhere. He's been remanded back to Rikers, charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. His hair disheveled and still wearing the jumpsuit cops gave him when they took his blood-soaked clothes. Ramon Rivera stood silently as prosecutors laid out the charges against him. While outside, the sister of one of his alleged victims sobbed. "He was my hero," she said. A memorial growing in Chelsea today, where 36-year-old Angel Lara Landy, a construction worker, bled out on the street. Last night, cops say Rivera, a homeless career criminal, confessed calmly to the stabbing rampage, allegedly selecting victims who appeared to be distracted and by themselves. The first, Lara Landy, yesterday morning on a job site in Chelsea. 2 hours after that, 67-year-old Chang Wang, who was fishing off a pier on the East River. And a half hour later, it was Wilma Augustine's turn, a 36-year-old mother of an 8-year-old child.
How do you explain to that child what happened? This is the failure of our unwillingness to face the problem, address the problem, and don't be so idealistic that we're not realistic. People need care.
Today, Mayor Adams blamed others for criticizing his attempts to force the mentally ill off the streets and out of the subway. Rivera has been in and out of jail 8 times just in New York City and has a documented mental health history, but managed to be back on the street with no treatment or rehabilitation. Just these 2 kitchen knives and an inexplicable need to use them.
And he serves about 8 months for this string of burglaries, larcenies, assault on a police officer, and nowhere is the system figuring out this is someone with deep-seated, serious mental health issues who needs more care.
The mayor today suggested that legislation City Hall had pushed in Albany that ended up failing would have prevented this disaster yesterday. That legislation would have made it easier for hospitals to hold the mentally ill against their will when they need care. Adams suggested that they would be attempting to pass that legislation again in Albany, but it is not clear what it would have done to keep Rivera off the street or if it would have prevented these 3 deaths yesterday.